Good morning and welcome to 10-Minute English Cafe. It is Monday, July 6th, 2026.
Happy Monday! The cafe already feels like a small scheduling puzzle.
It does. We moved one table away from the sunny window.
We changed the order of the pastries because the chocolate ones were melting too fast.
And the air conditioner is doing its best, which is a very Monday sentence.
A brave little machine with a difficult job.
So today's keyword is adjust, spelled A-D-J-U-S-T.
Adjust feels like a practical word. You notice reality, then you change something.
Exactly. To adjust means to make a change so something works better in a new situation.
Not a dramatic reset, more like moving your chair, changing the time, or choosing a better route.
Today, we have 3 stories about adjustment.
First, a fashion show in Paris moves earlier because of extreme heat.
Then, creator businesses rethink whether selling the company is always the goal.
And finally, a historic building in Richmond becomes a new cocktail lounge.
Before we begin, if you are new here, we turn real news into natural English conversation every day.
With words you can use when plans change, businesses grow, and old places get new life.
If that helps your listening practice, please subscribe and join us for 10 minutes.
Let's adjust our Monday plans and begin.
Our first story takes us to Paris during Men's Fashion Week. Paris sounds glamorous, but heat waves do not care about glamour. Exactly. AP reported that Dior moved its men's show earlier because of a heat wave in Western Europe.
The phrase move earlier is very useful.
Yes, if an event is moved earlier, it happens before the original time.
So instead of saying we changed the time, you can say we moved it earlier.
Dior moved the show to 9 a.m. to avoid the worst heat later in the day. That is a clear adjustment. The plan stayed, but the timing changed. Guests were also given cooling support, including cold towels and parasols.
Parasol is a nice word. It's like an umbrella used for shade from the sun.
Right. It sounds elegant, but the job is very practical.
Keep people from melting in the front row.
Speaking of the front row, that phrase is common in fashion articles.
The front row means the important seats closest to the runway.
Exactly. But in this story, the important seats also had to deal with real weather.
That makes the story feel modern. A beautiful event still has logistics.
Logistics means the practical planning behind an event.
Time, shade, water, transport, seats, staff, and 100 little details.
The show also drew attention for loosening formal style into something more relaxed.
So even the clothes were adjusting a little, not only the schedule.
That's a good way to see it. Heat can push people to rethink what looks polished. Polished doesn't always mean stiff. Sometimes it means smart enough to breathe. Today's first lesson is simple. When conditions change, a good plan may need to move. And adjust is the word that makes that change sound calm and reasonable. Our second story moves from fashion schedules to creator businesses.
This sounds like a different kind of adjustment.
It is. Axios reported that some creator founders are rethinking the idea of an exit.
Exit sounds like leaving a building, but in business, it has a special meaning.
Right. An exit often means selling a company or cashing out after building it.
So the old dream might be build the brand, celebrate.
Exactly. But the article says selling is not always the default endgame anymore.
Endgame means the final goal, right?
Yes, it's what someone is ultimately trying to reach.
So creators are asking, do I really want the sale to be the ending?
That's the question. The story focuses on ownership and agency.
Ownership is who owns the company or brand.
And agency means the ability to make choices and act with control.
I like that word. It's not just having a name on the door, it's being able to decide.
Exactly. A creator business is often built on a relationship with an audience.
If someone else controls the distribution, the relationship can feel different.
Distribution means how content reaches people.
A newsletter, a podcast feed, social media, a streaming platform, all of that.
The article mentions founders thinking carefully about whether growth is worth losing control.
That's a grown-up adjustment. Not more money is always better, but what do I give up?
Another useful phrase is buyback. If founders buy back a business, they purchase it again after selling it. Right, that can let them regain control. So this story isn't against selling, it's about having more than one definition of success.
Exactly. Sometimes adjusting the goal is more important than adjusting the schedule.
The fashion show moved time. These founders may move the finish line.
Our final story takes us to a historic neighborhood in Richmond.
I like when a business story also has a place and a building. A local report said a new cocktail lounge opened in a historic building. The name already sounds like it wants a little mystery.
It is a 2-floor lounge in a century-old building.
Century-old means around 100 years old.
Right. The building also has ties to an older local social club.
That means the place is not just empty space, it carries memory.
Exactly. A useful phrase here is take over.
If a new business takes over a building, it starts using a space that had another life before.
Yes, but taking over a historic space can be delicate.
You want something new, but you don't want to erase what was there.
The lounge also offers Southern food with a Caribbean twist.
Twist on is a great phrase. It means a new version of something familiar.
Exactly. You can say, this is a twist on a classic dish.
Or, this cafe has a twist on iced coffee, which I would like to test for research.
The cocktail names also reference music.
That gives the place a personality before anyone even takes a sip.
This story connects to today's keyword because the building is being adjusted for a new use.
The walls are old, but the experience is new.
That can be the best kind of reuse when it's done carefully.
It lets a city keep some memory while making room for people now.
So our 3 stories moved from time to goals to place.
A schedule adjusts, a business goal adjusts, a building adjusts.
Today's keyword was adjust.
It turned out to be a very Monday word.
In the first story, Dior adjusted its showtime because of extreme heat.
Same event, better timing.
In the second story, creator founders adjusted the idea that selling is always the final goal.
Same ambition, maybe a different ending.
In the third story, a historic building adjusted into a new lounge while carrying local memory. Same walls, new experience. So here is today's question. Which adjustment stood out to you?
Option A is moving a fashion show earlier because of heat.
Option B is rethinking the exit in a creator business.
Option C is turning a historic building into a new social space.
Tell us in the comments. You can write A, B, or C and add one sentence in English.
For example, I choose A because weather can change any plan.
Take today's word with you. Adjust means changing something so it works better now.
That is useful for schedules, goals, rooms, and even Mondays.
If this conversation helped your English, please like, subscribe, and come back tomorrow.
Have a flexible Monday and adjust kindly when the day asks you to.